With South Africa's tour to Sri Lanka kicking off on the 2nd of September, we are going to be discussing what South Africa need to do given all of the issues that's been happening off the field recently in cricket. But we're also going to look at who we'd like to see play in this particular match and who holds the key to a good performance. South Africa will be first playing 3 ODIs and then they change to 3 T20s. So there are two separate squads that we will be discussing on today's show. If you guys are new to this channel, just click the subscribe button, click the notification bell for all future videos. Also, click the eye on the top right on the screen and you will get instant access to the free magazine. It's a monthly magazine that comes directly into your inbox. So let's get into today's discussion. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin. This is my co-host Aditya, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, it's been a long time since I gave that intro, but let's get straight into today's discussion. As I said in the intro, we'll be discussing the tour to Sri Lanka. Now, South Africa are going to be playing on Tuesday, the 2nd of September in their first ODI. So I think it's fitting that we start talking about how South Africa is going to approach this and how important the series is for the preparation going into the World Cup. Now, Aditya, we know that what has been happening in South African cricket recently, all the off-the-field things with Boucher and Enoch resigning, I think those things are going to affect the players. Now, we obviously have to wait and see what we hear in the first press conference after the first match or whether we will get one before, because we've already gotten a pre-match or pre-tour press conference with Temba Bavuma already. So I'm not sure if they're going to give us an opportunity to speak to the media before the first and opening game, because our captain's press conference has already happened. So let's see what happens, and from CSA's perspective, if they do give us an interview, because that will give us some insight into how the players are feeling to an extent. We will be able to read between the lines if they are saying something that sounds a little bit funny, or they will be just open and honest and tell us exactly how it is. So the obvious thing is that the obvious understanding is that these guys will be affected by this, that this will affect them within the setup, especially the guys that were very close to Enoch and Queb, because we know what his ability is to get players riled up or to get players focused for, especially white ball cricket, because he's been quite dominant in that manner with regards to when he was at the Lions. Even though he won a 4-day title, it still shows that winning 2 white ball titles gives him a little bit of more of an edge in the white ball format. But I think he's an all-round coach, which is obvious as we can see. But what's your thoughts on that? How do you think, or how do you perceive that this will affect South Africa?
This tour has probably gained in importance because of what's happened off the field. And now it's even more important that South Africa succeed, because this tour, as Temba indicated in his press conference, is so important for South African preparation going into the World Cup. But with all the off-field stuff with Enoch resigning and Boucher submitting an affidavit, it's not going to be easy, and it will take a monumental effort to really get the players to focus on the cricket.
Yeah, 100%. And this puts extra pressure on the players to get a result, because if we don't win, there are going to be people on either side of the line that are going to either have a go at the players or they're going to have a go at the coach. Because there are still people, regardless of what has been said in the media about Mark Boucher and his position, and regardless of some fans suggesting that the apology isn't good enough, that has been a narrative that has gone around within the fan base. If you just read the comments on Cricket Fanatics magazine's Facebook page alone, you will get an understanding of that there's a clear line between people that are pro Boucher and there's a clear line of people against Boucher. Even on Enoch and Quest's post about his resignation, there is a hell of a lot of divide between the fan base on whether they should have kept Enoch or whether Enoch should have just moved on. So I think that there's a lot of pressure on the team, and if they don't get a result, I think that would be the worst possible preparation into a World Cup. That will be put us on the back foot already before we even step onto the field in the tournament. And that's my major concern, is that we need a positive result and a positive mood in the camp and on the field. We need to see it visibly that the players are up for this and they are serious about everything. When we look at it from that perspective, Aditya, and we see this the way this tour is going to happen, it's obviously with the ODIs first. I think it's the best possible way to start the tour is rather with the ODIs than the T20s.
Yeah, I think so, because now it's been at least a month or so since South Africa has played competitive cricket, and I think the ODIs will sort of lend themselves into the T20s, where South Africa can perhaps play slightly calmer brand of cricket. Because pitches in Sri Lanka are not going to be conducive to the 350, 370 sort of targets um, that might be possible in Australia or India or South Africa. And yeah, but it's still going to be a struggle. It's not going to be easy for the South African batters, particularly, to just come in and adapt. I think it's going to take a serious amount of skill to be able to do that. But again, my worry is for the players about how they sort of deal with it mentally, as opposed to the skill side of it.
Because I think no matter who comes into the press conference, no matter who they put in front of the press, that one line from Enoch from his press release, which was talking about his resignation, this particular line, Enoch raised concerns about the functioning and culture of the team environment. Any single player that is put in front of the media is going to be asked questions about this, because this is a serious accusation over here. This is a serious matter if this is the case, because that word culture is so important to the development of the team and the success of the team. Because if players don't feel comfortable within the culture and the environment, it's very difficult to build a team winning environment and a winning ethos. So it also aligns with what we heard from Coach Khan, Imran Khan, yesterday. We spoke about that. We spoke about the type of team ethos the Dolphins live by. And I think that's something that South Africa should similarly live by, and the same type of philosophy. So if you want to see what Imran Khan had to say, go ahead and watch our interview with him. We had a very good, in detailed interview. I'm saying it's very good. You guys have to decide if it's very good or not. But I think from our perspective, from an information perspective, I think it was a very good interview from his part. He really gave some good insight into his team environment, which is a winning environment based on his track record in the last domestic season. So let's get into the discussion about the teams over here. We're going to briefly go into it. Myself and a teacher will probably look at the squad, and we're going to discuss who we think should play basically in this particular opening match. So we've got the updated squad now. We know Junior Dala's out to the side and Lutus Apamla has replaced him. When looking at the squad, Aditya, let's start with you, and then I'll maybe give my insight on what I think. But let's start with the batters, because I think that's probably the most difficult one to pick. South Africa only picked 7 batsmen, out-and-out batsmen in this particular team. We've got 2 wicket-keeper batsmen in this particular squad for the ODIs. So they only picked 7, so it's up to us to decide which one of those 7 start, particularly with the all-rounders that have been in the squad as well. So we've got George Linder, all-rounder, Dwayne Pretorius, Rian Mulder, Andile Peklikwaya, all-rounders that can also bat higher up. How do you see South Africa lining up in the first ODI? What do you reckon will be the batters that will definitely start?
I think Aaron Markram and Giannaman Malan will definitely open the batting, with Demba at 3, Rassi at 4, Hendrik Klaassen at 5, Kyle Verreynne at 6, Dwayne Pretorius at 7. That to me looks like our top 7.
So That's a very good top seven in my opinion. I mean, if I had to have the choice to pick, I'm thinking 2023 World Cup. So the youngsters in the squad must start, in my opinion. So I would do the same thing. I think I would do exactly the same. I would leave Riza out for the 2023. I think he has more of an opportunity to push for the T20 squad. And really, because that's really where we've been looking at him as a possible opening partner for Quinton de Kock, actually. In recent times, that's been happening. So I just want to touch on the rest of the all-rounders because Andile hasn't had an opportunity really to get a lot of game time. Do you see Andile coming into the side and getting another opportunity, maybe as that bowling all-rounder?
I do, but it would depend on how many spinners Timber wants in the team. If they go with one spinning option, then Andile would probably play. But
Yeah,
otherwise, I don't think he would because there's also going to be that focus on getting Dwayne Pretorius as much game time as possible because
yeah.
South Africa have lacked that finishing ability in T20 cricket, and they're going to want to make sure that he gets as much time to bat in the middle as possible.
Yeah. So when I look at it, I think that Dwayne Pretorius definitely needs to be in the team. It should be one of the first names in the team sheet because of the lack of game time he's gotten. If he's going to be our all-rounder, our seeming all-rounder that's going to the World Cup in T20 cricket, it doesn't matter what type of format, he needs to start in ODIs so that he can get some game time because he's had a lack of game time in international cricket for various reasons. So George Linder and Dwayne Pretorius, I'm seeing them two as our two all-rounders because most likely they will play next to spinner. I'm looking at it from the Sri Lanka point of view. They're talking about spinning conditions. Majority of the time, that's what you're going to be handed in Sri Lanka. I think Sri Lanka will probably create those type of pitches anyway because it favors them. So ultimately, I think that having all of our spinners, majority of our spinners playing is very important. When I look at the rest of them, we might even see a guy like Keshav Maharaj also get an opportunity. That could also be a possible option. And if George Linder is going to take that number 6 spot, we'll have to wait and see. Instead of Calvarena, that's also another possible thing that could happen. Or we will see a top 6 of batters, and then 7 and 8 will be our all-rounders, and we'll choose probably as George Linder as a spinner and Dwayne Pretorius as a seamer all-rounder. That could also be another option, or those two can swap around. It's very, very, very versatile. So when I'm looking at it, I think that they will definitely have to. I think that KG Rabada will probably get an opportunity to start because I think it's good for the team because we need to win. So from a bowling perspective, we need to pick the best bowlers we have available, and I think both KG and Andy need to play. So it's going to be a toss-up between him playing an extra spinner and a third seamer. So that's going to be an opportunity. Well, what would you do with regards to the spinning situation and the seamer situation, Aditya?
I'd pick two spinners, and if the opportunity presents itself, I'd probably pick three spinners too, because Dwayne Pretorius gives you that seaming option, and um, yeah. So I think if in an ideal situation, I think South Africa would want to pick at least two spinners. But if there's some serious spinning conditions, it might be useful to take that risk and play three also. And yeah, I guess Aiden Markram can also deliver at least 6 or 7 overs of spin himself. So
Yeah.
he's an added asset.
Yeah. So what I want you guys to do is I want to see you guys put your 11s. Who do you want to see start against Sri Lanka? Put it in the comment section. We will be doing a review before the first ODI with a panel so that we will be discussing everything and we'll be talking about whatever we would like to see, what we would like to see in the game. So I'll ask the panelists also to draw up their 11 and so we can put it up on the screen for you guys. We'll be doing that show live. So just keep an eye out for the announcement. It will be happening very, very soon. Let's just briefly go over with the T20 squad. For me, the approach should be pick your best 11. No matter what the idea is, pick your best 11 within this setup. Whoever is available in this particular lineup, pick your best 11. That should be the key. Is that the same mentality that you would want to see, Aditya?
Yeah, We want to go as close to the level that we play in the World Cup, minus Faf du Plessis' potential inclusion. We don't know whether he's playing or not, but within the parameters that we have here, we should try to pick the best 11.
That's where the question comes in on whether we should play KG or Andrich in the ODIs, whether we or maybe we should maybe give them a rest. That's also another opportunity for that in the ODIs. So that brings that conversation in because we want to see our best 11 obviously take the field in the T20s because it's the perfect preparation. It's almost like that World Cup build-up games that you can have, like a warm-up game. That's how I'm going to see the series, is that it's every single game should be a knockout when it comes to the T20s. I want them to fight. I would like my team, if I was the coach, to approach the games like that. So, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what your ODI 11 is. Let me put it in the comment section below. Let me know what your T20I 11 would be. Put it in the comment section below. We really would like to see what you guys have to say about this. Also, go to Instagram. Please give us our questions. We will answer them on the show tomorrow. So please put in your questions on the Instagram account. Look out for our stories. We will be putting up a little post over there where you guys can put your questions in so that we can answer them on tomorrow's show. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you again tomorrow with another daily show. Take care, everybody.